We'll call the Historic District Commission regular meeting of Wednesday, April 2nd to order at 7 o'clock. For purpose of the tape, can we call the roll, please? Ellen?
Alec Kokoska.
Alex Stikeen.
Mike Brassfield.
Gary Roberts?
Jennifer Cook-Riggin.
Angie Nagel.
Okay, a quorum being present, we will move this right along. Thank you for that. Next would be the adoption of the agenda. I just wanted to, if you don't mind, I'd like to add an item C under new business. I just want to get a motion to, that the entire commission makes to authorize the distribution of the February 5th version of the design guide which you have received. So that would be, I'm just going to put design guide there as the amendment to, that'll be an addition of item 6B. With that amendment, we could use, there she is. Let the record reflect that we're also adding Laura Whitty to the attendee.
Thanks.
Got a full house.
We have a full house, so we're in good shape. Well, anyway, with that amendment, we could use a motion to approve the agenda as amended.
I move that we adopt the agenda of April 2nd, 2025, as amended with item C, the design guideline of February 5th.
Approval.
Approval. Yep.
Excellent. Is there a second?
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We have a plan. Okay, the next thing would be the adoption of the minutes, which are in your packet of, February 5th was our last meeting. Laura, I believe you had the main motion in that particular meeting. Does anybody have any other comments relative to the minutes from February 5? Seeing none, we could use a motion to approve the minutes as presented, or if there's a change.
I can make a motion to adopt the minutes from the regular meeting of February 5th, 2025,
Second.
As presented.
as presented.
I second.
And seconded by Laura. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, moving right along. The next item would be public comments. Is there anybody in the audience that would like to speak that does not have an agenda item? If you have an agenda item, we will get to you. If you do, if you'd like to talk about anything else, we'd love to talk to you right now. Nobody comes rushing forward, we'll move on. Next would be the replacement of the windows at 26255 West 14 Mile Road. And that, sir, if you would come up to the podium and state your name and address and your relationship to the project.
Sure.
For the record, that would be great. Now,
Hello.
I know there's multiple buildings under this address, right?
Yes.
There's like 2 houses and a garage and,
Correct.
okay,
I'm Mike Nicopolis. Hello, everyone. I'm a designer, and I'm working with Greg and Jennifer McQueen at this address,
okay,
26255 West 14 Mile. I got involved with them just to do some freshening up of painting inside and changing the carpets and whatnot. And the discussion led to the windows needed to be painted. We noticed that windows are in really horrible condition, and they need to be replaced. So we've been working to acquire bids, and Jennifer and Greg and I have found a great company. Matter of fact, he just coincidentally installed windows at your library here in Franklin. His name is Matt from Antcliff Windows.
okay, good.
Matt has given us a quote. I have the quote today. I would have submitted it with that deadline of earlier in a few weeks ago in March, but we just received it. So I have that quote. I have some literature from the window that he plans on using. I actually brought one of the windows. It's wood on the outside, it's wood on the inside. I think it checks all of the boxes of what you require. And that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I noticed on the back side of the next application is a bunch of the Anderson window cuts, which all are wood, but I think that has to do with our, this is Pella?
Yeah, so since I've been dealing with Matt from Antcliff, he came up with a Geldwin window, the Sightline series, which is a really beautiful window. I actually brought it with me. I have it here if you'd like to see it.
Okay, yeah, we would like to see it, and we want to make sure that it is all wood construction, similar to these, whatever these are, Pella cuts.
Would you like to have the?
Yeah, well, we're gonna need to know what you're talking about, clearly.
So Matt did not have a casement window in his possession, couldn't find one, worked for several days to find one and could not. The best we could come up with was this,
A double hung.
double hung, and it is wood. I think it checks all your boxes. It's not gonna be double hung, they're gonna be casement windows. A
Okay.
couple of them are gonna be fixed. I even brought pictures of all the windows from the exterior of the house for you to look at.
Well, that's what we're looking for, is a little more information about what we're talking about here. Could we, Dana, could you bring, this is the garage, but on there, on that site is a house that looks like this. It should be under the same set of photos, just so everybody can make sure we're on the same page here.
Matt plans on replacing every window exactly the same style as what's there, with all the mullions in the same configuration. I have a drawing in the quote of every window in the house.
Okay. So are these currently all casements?
Majority of them are, not all. There's a couple of fixed, one in the basement. It's fixed.
Okay.
And then we're gonna change one of the windows that's blocked by the staircase. Instead of that being a casement like it is now, it's gonna be a fixed.
Right, because the stair intersects right through.
Correct, yes.
Yep.
Okay, and you're doing the whole house?
Every window.
Wow, that's a big project.
It is really pretty, yeah. It's really unique.
Could you describe for us, or where we see the entry doors? By the way, I meant to pass this
It's
around.
actually, the entry door is right there on
Yeah,
the left of the.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the proposed one.
There's no, we're not replacing the entry door.
Because your application says that you are.
It was filled out incorrectly, if that's what it says.
Okay, so anyway.
New doors, new
This
windows.
is only windows.
No, there's 4 doors in the house. The entry door is 1 door, and then there are 3 French doors in the rest of the house. So all of those French doors are getting replaced. The front door is the only door that's not getting replaced. So it's a combination of windows and doors, 3 doors, and the rest windows.
Okay,
Are those interior doors?
No,
Exterior
they're
doors?
exterior doors. So here is on the side of the house, the one that faces Franklin. These are, this is a double door with a double wooden screen door on the outside. So that's one example of the double French doors. And then on the opposite side of the house, there's,
spin us around a little bit, Dana, please. Keep going. There.
so this is the house that's facing the doors that are facing the driveway. So those will be replaced. And then there's one other set around the backside.
Okay, so describe for us, if you would, the difference between
That's
those.
the front door, excuse me.
Okay, the replacement doors and the existing doors. What's the difference?
The difference between the existing doors and the new doors that are proposed?
Yes.
Nothing. The new doors will be beautiful and new and not rotted at the bottoms,
But
and
they're exactly the same style.
yes,
They're all wood and construction.
correct. These will be improved because the mullions will be fixed. Those are all snap-off. I don't know when those were done, years and years ago, but they were pretty poor quality, and all of those bars are, falling off or
And
soon
the
to be
colors,
falling
the
off.
color will be the same or similar?
Yeah, we're not changing any colors. On the exterior, definitely not changing any colors. Maybe a shade of white will be a little bit different on the inside, but,
We don't care about the inside.
right.
Okay, well, that's pretty straightforward then. It's basically a straightaway replacement with new product, all wood. You're right, checks all of our boxes, I think.
Not changing any of the trim on the outside. None of the mullion configurations will be changed. All just take the old out, put in the new.
Well, I appreciate that. That makes our job
It's-
simpler.
It's
Does that look okay to you?
it's constructed pretty well, yeah.
Yeah,
The
okay.
only other thing I'd like to add to this is the condition of those exterior wooden screen storm doors that are outside of the windows that we're replacing. Those are not included in Matt's quote to replace. He thinks he can reuse them. He won't know until he pulls them all off. If he can't, then there'll be an additional bid put out to the McQueens that those will be replaced. But again, it'll be in like kind. It won't be anything aluminum or weird. It'll be wood just like they are now.
Okay.
We can present that when the occasion arises if they need to be replaced.
Full surround wood grills.
Okay, so for the file, I guess we're talking about, I guess all we need to do is describe the fact that they are the, what are they?
Sightline by Geldwin.
Sightline by Gelwin, all wood series,
Right.
painted to match the existing condition and painted and configured to match the existing condition.
If,
There is nothing else to it, right?
that's right. If along this process, the McQueens decide to consider possibly painting the exterior windows a different color, I don't think they will, but, you know, I'd like to ask the question, what if they did? Is there some sort of parameters that they need to adhere to?
Well, usually paint is not a, unless you're gonna do something bizarre.
It's not gonna
paint
be
is not a
pink
big
or
thing.
yellow or anything
Right.
weird.
If you could just fill, our application is free, just tell us what it is that you're doing. And we're trying to protect against lime green and weird stuff.
Got it.
okay?
Got it.
So if you could just tell us at some point in the future if they wanna change, again, the application's free, you might not even have to come to that meeting. But if it's a white or a different white or something, you're allowed a straight up replacement,
Okay.
okay? All right, so then, we could use, what is the address of this place? We could use a motion for the approval of the what's it called? Sightline Gelwin Wood Series in a color and configuration to match the existing approval at 26255 West 14 Mile. Anybody want to take a run at that?
I would
Please
have a
do.
problem doing that.
All right, please do it.
So I'd like to put forth the motion to approve the replacement of windows and doors at 26255 West 14 Mile Road. They're sightline by Geldwen Wood Series windows to be installed and painted the same as the existing. And we see that this fits our Secretary of Interior guidelines, especially number 9. And I think that's it.
That's it, and I think that was an outstanding motion. Is there a second to that?
I'll second.
All second? Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Good. You are good to go, sir. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you. I do have a question.
Yeah.
Guideline number 9.
Guideline number 9 is we are governed by the Secretary of Interior standards. There are 10 of them. Number 9 relates to alterations of historic property.
Understood. Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Copy or am I just reading?
I'll get another one. I can get another one if you're working here.
You can have
Might as well.
Yeah, well, we need to keep something
Oh,
for
you
the
want- we'll keep
file.
it then. Keep-
No, for this one though. This is,
because it
Oh,
just-
the secretary.
Show me number 9.
Okay, but we're gonna keep this for
Yes.
our, so we can,
Everything I gave you can
Mr. Dinnick can check against that later on.
Yes.
So we'll keep that.
Thank you,
All
everyone.
right, thank you for coming and for bringing that, lugging that window around.
Yeah, thank you.
I'll buy it.
All right, moving right along, item 6B is the paint color change and the addition of an outside walk-in cooler at 32644 Franklin Road. I noted from the drawings, there are several other things besides those things on your plans. So perhaps you could step forward similarly and state your name and relationship to the project and tell us what's happening.
Hello, everybody.
Dana, can you
Nice
bring
to
that
meet you guys.
building up, please? I'm sorry.
My name is Gabriel Botazan. I'm executive chef, and this will be kind of like my new little project.
I'm Lisa McDonald, I'm the property owner and will be business partner in the project here. So Italian restaurants in the old farmhouse. So there's a couple things that, you know, we need to make improvements on in order for that to be an actual restaurant.
Sure.
The main thing is to be able to have enough refrigeration. We need to add in the external
Outside-
walk-in. Yeah,
outside
the
walk-in,
closet,
yep.
the walk-in closet, the walk-in
Walk-in cooler.
refrigerator, the walk-in
Yeah.
cooler. So, you know, that is the main structural change to the building. And then the other, a couple of additional, the rooftop.
So, yeah, the rooftop on the side of the building will be the actually hood system of the kitchen, because we have to put a hood system, obviously.
that.
And then on the side of the building, which is towards the parking lot, it will go up a foot where the ceiling is right now, just because the guys that came in to do the measurements and do the installment of the hood system and give me the right quote, said because the ceiling is a little bit too low, it will be too loud in the restaurant. And for that, for us to keep the noise down, we have to go up a little foot just to kind of keep the ventilation properly and make the noise less noisy for the inside.
Well, let's, if you don't mind, we do these one at a time so we don't get lost.
I'm so confused.
Why?
That's all.
Was it supposed to just be a cafe?
Yep.
Yeah,
So it's a restaurant now?
so that was, yeah, we've had some changes and
Where did the changes come from?
just from a product of, you know, from a budgetary standpoint. So I
But
needed
we're
to
good
bring
with that.
I
in-
know, I just am like, because I always knew this as like, was Gray Dog? Gray
Yeah,
Duck,
so maybe
Dog?
Gray Dog Cafe.
Okay.
And then there's a couple things, I mean, with every project, there's always.
Totally.
things happen.
That's why I'm like, wait,
You
it's
know,
how your
that's
restaurant?
what-
So you've gone upscale. a
I'm
little
like,
bit.
wow.
It's
Yep.
multiple of things have happened over the course of this last year.
Right.
So one was all the budgets came in as just so much more than we had anticipated. So, you know, the initial quotes were very different from quotes further down the line. So we had to make some changes, unfortunately. So as much as I would, you know, love to be able to stay on the path of the Grey Dog Cafe, I want to still be able to provide a restaurant
No.
atmosphere for the community. It's still, we want to have a venue in this space that provides services to the community and gives a gathering place for the people. in
And I
town.
think
So
we're fine
That's why I'm
with
like,
that.
that's
Yep.
what, I just was like,
We're
are we
just
talking about
trying
the
to
same?
catch
Yeah, it's the same.
We're catching up.
So, yeah. And
And-
it's hard
and-
because it's white now, not
Yeah.
red.
not-
Right, it's,
Right.
right.
Yes, so,
But let's just walk through some of the architectural things. First of all, on the ground, from this view, you're adding a room under the porch,
No.
right? That window becomes a solid space. I'm looking at the
only
plan.
thing that you added was this window would get covered and that this wall would get
18
bumped
inches.
out, but I don't even know if that's structurally possible with the space. So, you know,
In
the
the
architect
plan.
had drawn, and the plan had drawn that this would be bumped out, but
Right,
I
right.
honestly don't think
We
that
don't know
that's
until
something,
we open.
if it would be able to be done. So that would, the window would be then.
Okay, because we're just
missing.
going by what was submitted here, so,
Yeah.
so that part of it is not for real.
No,
That's in the
yeah,
plans.
Can we see the plans? I mean, I can point that out to you
In
to
the
explain
drawing.
that a little bit better.
It's in the,
Do you have
Yeah.
the
Floor
plans,
plan.
Dana? Can you give
Right
us
here.
a bunch?
Yes, so that's just 2 feet addition. Like, that's just a 2 feet plan out. That's just bumping it out 2 feet.
right, and I
Yeah.
get that. I just want to, if 2 feet or 2 inches, we're just trying to understand
Yeah.
what the exterior changes are.
Yeah, yep, exactly.
So this is still part of the deal.
Yeah.
It just, so from a visual standpoint, it's gonna be the same siding and everything, it just, there's no window in it.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, Dana, it's A103 is the page. So if you keep going down.
Right here, this. And that's for an ice cream room or something?
This is the barn.
That'll be the
Here.
kitchen,
Okay.
so I gotta extend the kitchen
So-
another foot if it's possible. So I
Okay.
can have more space.
I don't think it does anything to the building per se,
No,
it just,
no, it stays everything the same, the siding will be all the same to match everything around it, you just have to go
Okay.
1 foot out on the side.
we just wanna keep an accurate record of what we're approving here. So
Correct.
if this is correct, then fine,
Yes,
okay.
Yeah,
Because that's what it shows.
yeah, it doesn't. A103 was the furniture plan, Blaze shows the wall.
I've been looking at, I know, I'm so confused.
You trying to get to this drawing on the screen?
Yeah,
pages.
one more, I think. It's A101, 100, a couple more. Keep going, you can see right there.
Right here. So the wall is right here, and we gotta go another 18 inches up.
It's a little clearer on the floor plan, which is
Yeah, keep going, there's 2
103.
more
Can
down.
you go one more drawing down,
Yeah,
Dana, please? One more
One
after
more.
that.
It's always gonna be one more.
The other
There you
one,
go.
right there.
Yeah.
So that dark colored pochade wall is the new wall.
Correct,
Okay,
which will look the same except no window. Will be no window there.
okay.
Because this will be the kitchen and I have to go this way a little bit, so I have create more space for like a service station for the service, for the espresso machine and stuff. there's no space inside, so we wanted to go foot that way because we have the space. And if it's possible, I don't know, the builder says until I open up, I don't know if it's possible or not, but let's put it in the project so everybody sees it ahead of time.
Yeah, I mean, probably you're gonna have to go through the deck to get to a footing.
Correct, yeah, yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Okay, and then while we're on this view, talk a little bit about the walk-in cooler. What
So
you walk outside to walk in the walk-in
Yeah,
cooler.
we're gonna build this new cement pad here, it's gonna be brand new, and we're gonna build a cement base underneath with a cement pad that goes for deliveries. So this will be the walk-in cooler, it's not gonna be attached to the building, because it's a 8 foot by 10, and we're gonna have space, and around it, we're gonna have a fence that will assemble the house, so we're gonna have siding on it, so it'll look exactly, if you look from this side, it'll look exactly as the house, except this will be outside cooler, because I don't have space to put inside, obviously. I
Okay.
tried to see if I can do changes in the basement, that does not gonna work, so I said, let's do it on outside, and that's more possible for us to keep as more like a storage prep area, we're gonna put everything inside, so this is the best placements for it. Because there's nothing behind it, right, behind
The
it is a
barn.
barn, so,
Yeah,
So you
Yeah, be away
you
from-
always have to access it from
From the
outside.
yeah, you walk in.
right.
Yeah, and we'll have a little gate here, a little door, so no critters or deer, so it hurts and all my products, so we're gonna do a nice door, nice flowers around it, so it's not,
But it's some sort of an insulated composite wall that you're gonna side over,
correct.
so it matches.
Comes in, pieces, so it's like this thick walls insulated, so we
Right.
put it together, the company. It's got
Oh.
a nice skirt, and then
Okay.
on top it will be the 2 motors.
So in of the floor plan, then that's the extent of the outside changes in floor plan, right?
Those
That-
two
Yeah,
black
those
that's
two
lines.
the
things.
only,
Yeah.
yeah,
Correct.
that's the only change in floor.
Yep.
Okay. Does anybody have any question about that, Laura?
I do. I'm your neighbor, actually. I back up to the
On this side or on
restaurant.
this side?
She's your other neighbor who backs
Yeah.
up to the
Yeah.
restaurant. Question about the motors on top. How tall are they and are they noisy? Because obviously
No.
that's a concern, at
No.
least not from a design standpoint.
Yeah,
but-
I asked my supplier, which is Edward Dunn from Chicago, is the guy that I'm gonna buy all the equipment from. And those days, I was very surprised, this is not an old school walking coolers that they have, 3 horses and
Yeah.
makes a lot of noise. So those days, they make it so efficient and to run, it's basically a box on top that's got the compressor.
Mhm.
So it's basically a compressor that doesn't run all the time, it just keeps, when the door is open, the temperature rolls down, that kicks in. So it's not gonna be like a noise that runs 24/7, 365 days a year. So this will be like more modern, the same with the hood system. That's why they wanna go up a little bit, so they put a different motors in it, and so it'll be less noisy, less. Those days they make all the equipment and everything like so performance that you barely hear it. I help a restaurant open in Birmingham right now, and they installed a new motor on the hood system, and I was turning around and like, is it on? So it's so much different between new technology and old school technology, so that's why.
You'll
this will
have
be-
planning guidelines for acoustics at the property line that
Correct.
you'll have to adhere to no matter what we
Correct.
say.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. And I'll come to that, because on A200, it shows event, and in A202, it shows the cooler, and it's, I guess that rooftop thing has a screen around it, is that what it is?
Correct, yeah, so basically you're not gonna
Dana,
see
could
it.
you go to, well, let's, we're on the cooler, let's go to 202. It should be just down a couple pages.
Yeah.
Keep going. Okay, a few pages. Yeah, keep going. Right, oh, right there.
Right there.
So tell us about, that's not actually the compressor, that's a screen?
No, that's a screen that we're gonna match, kinda like the siding, so it'll be like a wood box, so
Mhm.
the motor will be inside, right? So all the outside wall also is gonna be like the siding, will be the same color, obviously. We're planning to plant some flowers and stuff, but will be like a screen to not actually see the compressor. The compressor are made for outdoor, so they're designed to stay in the rain and snow.
And that, and that,
So-
and that is a sort of a three-sided box.
Yes, correct. It'll be like a three-sided.
Right.
Okay.
And then that's the hood.
And this is the hood, obviously.
Yeah,
we don't know
I'm
the
gonna
sizes yet.
come to that in a minute. Tell me about this 1-foot thing you're talking about.
That was back to the first one, that extension of the wall. So basically-
Oh, that's
You
what you're,
still see
that's,
it on-
that's the
Yes.
foot you're talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
correct.
You can
Okay,
still see
okay.
that here.
So on this other hood, which actually, when you drop back even to 200, you see it, what you're gonna see from the streets elevation there. Dana, can you just drop back to the street view, to A200? I think you were just, one more,
It's top.
there we go.
So,
How tall is that thing? I can't read the little
I-
dimension.
I don't know exactly, it all depends on the model that we pick. He gave me a quote for a general one, but I can ask detailed questions to how tall it is. Usually it's a wheel, basically. It's
Yeah.
like a wheel that's got a little fan on top, so the motor, it's a belt. So it's usually this big, so which is what,
Okay, so,
20 inches, I'll say? But around it, I will have also a box.
well, that's where I'm
Screen it in.
wondering. Is my editorial on some of these things like this, the box becomes more visually obtrusive than the device if you paint it to match. So if you paint that, this is my personal opinion, now it's open for discussion. We could ask this applicant to put a box around it, but that just creates a larger mass of something sitting there. If we paint this thing out, it's a cylindrical thing that I think will visually go away more than the box.
Correct.
Yep.
Yeah.
What do you,
Yeah.
Andy?
Yes.
And
Laura?
I think like the paint on the outside will be a gray, right? And the
Unless
usually
there's some
stainless steel
noise
is also
component to
kind of
box it,
gray.
you know what I mean, like if it's required.
Yeah, and it just becomes like this bigger thing sitting there. And I
Yeah.
see these guys put these giant rooftop screens around a little thing, and it's more obnoxious than if you just painted the little, okay. Are you okay? You guys?
Yep.
All right, so we're gonna ask you, to take that thing, and you say it's 22 feet tall or something, it's not, I don't wanna get there and find out if there's a 5-footer sitting there.
No, I wish, no. But it's basically you have to go up in the ceiling another foot, 12 inches, and you build a platform where the motor is gonna sit on, kind of, so it'll be more like a structure also
Right.
to hold the whole hood system, which is stainless steel.
It will be pretty visible, particularly in the parking lot, but that roof is low and flat.
It's
So-
not, correct.
Yeah.
So you're practically gonna be looking at the darn thing. You know what I mean? It won't be
Yeah.
too far.
I'll ask to be more precise to see what exactly, how tall.
We would just like it to be as low as possible and painted to match the walls.
Yep.
Even if it's stainless steel, just paint it.
And you paint that because it's steel, and it's an exhaust fan, so I don't
I-
know if you can paint it.
I think you can paint it, you have to use the heat resistant
The
paint.
heat.
Like a part, yeah.
Yeah.
Because that thing gets hot because of the
That makes
motor
sense.
and whatever, the heat sucks on the outside, but usually comes in the stainless steel like.
Right, and I
silver.
think we don't really want the stainless steel look.
Yeah.
We'd like it to paint out to match.
Okay.
The other option we can have this box, depends how tall it is to match it to be like level, so be the motor to sit inside this box and will match.
Yeah, I get- the less volume we
side.
see, the better.
But I don't know how tall it is.
Okay,
It's also
well,
the back of it, right? So
It's
it's the
the
back of the
very
structure
back,
plus
exactly.
your,
It's the
So,
very,
You can cover it without the.
If you go back to
Hey.
the.
When you're at the
before,
porch.
I don't wanna-
the side-
You're not gonna see it at the
No,
porch.
I get what you're saying.
No, the one before, no.
because it's the back, if you're at the porch,
Other
you're
way.
not gonna
Really in
see
the
it.
back.
very.
It's not- it's not the back.
I thought it was in the back portion of it.
it's in the back portion of it, but you see from the parking lot and everything, it's near the front, near the edge.
Yeah, I got it.
Other way, Dan.
Yeah, so it'll be close to the corner, so this is the
Yeah, it's
corner,
right-
so
Yeah.
here-ish, not here. Because you have,
Yeah, so from the road, I don't think it's gonna be as visible, because when you're standing down.
Right, but when you're
not gonna see it.
parking
But
and-
when you're
No, only from her
parked on this,
bedroom.
I mean, when you're parked here,
That's right.
you're gonna see it.
yeah,
Not from the
Because
road.
you just see
And it
the
only
whole
goes on at
roof line.
3:30 in the
Yeah.
morning, so it's
So,
okay.
yeah.
yeah.
But
Okay,
I'll ask my guy from the equipment to give me exact measurements of how big the wheel is, and then he'll let me know exactly, but the ones that I know, I'm more than.
Don't guess.
These
It
are
is
kind
what
of
okay,
all
yeah,
over.
it is what it is, just we're asking it to be as low and as visible as possible.
The bigger the hood system, I understand, the bigger the hood, the bigger the space is, the taller the motor is. So because this is only a 10-foot ceiling, I don't need such a strong,
Okay.
because we're not doing
Sucks up.
frying burgers or stuff like that. so it
Is there anything else about the exterior of the building that we should know or understand? You're changing, not changing? What about the paint? You keep talking about that. Can we
doesn't
get into that?
already put it in the plan. but
So
that's-
it's, this is from the historic, Benjamin Moore line, it's a Kelly green, and there's actually, on the side of the building right now, we have swatches painted, so.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Oh, I
so
wish we would've known that.
Okay.
Take a
It
field
was
trip.
hard. What
To a
was that?
field trip.
Yes, exactly, they're on the back side.
They're right-
That's
right
good to
on
know.
this
Yeah,
corner.
no, they're on the back side, there's 3 of them,
So-
so we could do a vote.
Yeah, I like it.
Okay,
This
yeah.
looks
You
good.
know,
It
so,
reminds me, I remember when you sent out the postcard and you had kind of like a mock-up of it
yeah, that's.
with some landscape, I mean, that was really pretty.
Right, so it's more this, what's nice about this, it's not black, it's not
Mhm.
charcoal, it has that green hue.
Right.
So it's a little bit more earth toned, it's warmer, just, I think it's a beautiful color, it looks better on, I hated the sample, but I think it looks better on the building.
Yeah,
than
well,
it does.
definitely take
Yeah,
a look.
take a
Would
look.
the trim would be the same color,
Yep,
or?
yep, the trim would be the same
So
color.
that was, the window, everything, the front porch posts, everything blacks out that way, or
Yeah.
greens out,
Yep,
or
green-
whatever.
green out that way, yes, exactly.
Mhm, I like
And
that.
then just doing a lot of foliage, like hanging ferns and just a lot of the foliage in the front.
Lots
That
of
sounds
flowers.
Yeah, flowers.
That's pretty.
So-
Think about Italy, think about Tuscany, so this color kind of matches the brick, old brick.
Yeah.
I
Farmhouse.
always think Italy when I think Franklin.
I know, I was saying,
But the color, I mean, I'm from Europe, so I've traveled in Italy before, and it reminds me of this old school
Yeah.
farmhouses up in Tuscany that they go and they have this dark gray stone houses. And it's like, this matches, because I was thinking the same thing before Lisa said, okay, I want something like dark gray, so, oh, guess what, me too, so. Cool, right there.
So, Meg, they have some site changes. Do they have to go to the planning commission?
Yes. Yep, we're just starting in the process right here. So this will be a discussion, we're working closely with Lisa, they're definitely gonna have to go through planning.
Yeah.
There'll be a portion of the liquor license that'll go back through the council, so you guys are the first stop on a tour here for
yeah,
this,
exactly.
and
It would be a tour, I think that's the way to put it.
We want the record to reflect that we highly applaud the project and
Yes.
encourage you the best, all right?
Let's hope it goes.
So these subsequent meetings, we want to know that they're endorsed entirely.
I love that, I will echo that in every meeting,
I'm gonna get
'cause-
some samples, we'll see.
Exactly, we'll just have him look, and then, you know.
Samples next, samples.
Well,
Samples are good, yeah.
I do salty and my wife does sweet, she's a pastry chef, so we always, we
Uh-huh.
kind of like, you know, I don't eat sweets, I never had passion to learn them, I always tell people like, hey, I'm sweet enough, I don't. So when I met her, it's like, you know what's the pastry?
So if you,
Like, yes. Okay.
if you
So
spend
I
too
see
much
my wife.
time there, you got to go to her other building and.
Yeah.
Exactly, right,
Oh, I
that's
like
where
it.
we
Would-
work tandem,
would
no,
circular
exactly, you know, eat and then come work out.
Which I would like to say, you know, this past summer went to Lisa's gym and looked at this house inside and out. We were talking about it, and so I can say that, you know, if you're gonna go through with this project and it reflects what you've already done on that property, that it's all in line, so I know that,
Yeah, no,
I feel confident about a lot of what's going on.
Again, we're very encouraged. Okay, one last scope thing for you. You suggest some new doors on the barn? Or am I not, what are the changes to the barn that we're
Yeah.
contemplating? Are those new or?
No.
We're not,
Okay.
are we doing anything with the
We're not
barn?
doing anything with the barn right now.
Okay, I was trying to figure out why it was on the plan.
Yes, that's,
I'm like,
That's
sorry
in the
now.
future,
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So
it's in the
is the
future.
barn being painted as well?
as of right now, no. We
No,
didn't wanna do
it's staying
anything
as
with
is.
The barn is staying as
Okay.
is. Yes, we're leaving the barn.
We kinda like it red, just
Yeah.
for our opinion.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
We both
Yeah.
stare at it from our backyard.
We like
What
red.
I would love to paint it, which I don't even know how it's possible, is to, when I looked at old pictures, like when it was new, it was white. Like
Huh.
a washed out white, it was so pretty.
Yeah.
Like the one
So
by my house.
that would be like, my ultimate goal is to eventually get it to that.
Is the plan, is this a dinner spot? Is it a lunch
Dinner.
spot? Strictly dinner, it's not gonna be open during the day?
Are you doing
Fine
anything with the
dining?
barn?
5
Because I remember you
days, 6
talked
days a
about.
week, 4 to 10, 4 to 9.
Like, yes.
So this thing that says new south and existing south doesn't mean anything?
Nope.
No.
Okay.
Yeah,
It was in the plan,
That was
that's
in the
leave it
plan of
there.
the architect.
Okay,
so-
and by the way, your elevations are mixed up.
No.
This says east, but it's west and stuff like that, but it's okay. You
We'll
might-
look at that before it goes to
But when you get
planning.
into planning commission,
Yep.
they get fussy and.
Yep.
So, okay, so ice cream window, so if it's not, it's just dinner now?
Correct.
So that's a,
Yeah.
okay, take this, okay.
What page is that on? There were so many pages.
I know, that's what I was, that's why I was so confused when you came in, I was like,
You-
wait, what is this
You
now?
just need to go through all these.
Oh, right, that's just like.
Get rid of some of that.
You need
Yeah,
to go
clean
through
it
all
up.
these sheets and get rid of that.
Because that affects the.
Before you get on to
absolutely.
her other
Megan's
people.
not gonna like that. Yeah, we'll look at
Fine-tooth
that.
comb.
Because
and
that
go
affects like,
through.
yeah.
They're not the funny,
100%.
easygoing people.
Right, we're
They're no HDC, okay?
What's your time frame for the project?
As soon as we get the approval. and
Right,
get
it's
the go,
steps, so it's like, I mean, this was step one,
Yeah.
you know, for sure, and then planning is step two, and,
And after
yeah,
that,
it's
The
just
builder
getting
said
approvals, I mean,
4
the-
months,
yeah.
not more than that, because it's nothing, we're not taking it out, rebuilding it, so you just little touches, so.
Yep.
Builder said
November.
4, maybe 5 months the most,
Okay, that means 7.
so they moved.
I know, just like the Franklin.
Right,
I thought of doing it too,
exactly,
like,
Yeah.
Yeah, never quite
You
goes
guys
that
pick a
way.
name for it?
yes.
I know, it was on the front.
Oh, I'm
Or-
sorry.
Maria Gabriela.
I always tell
Who's
people.
Gabriella? Who's
Well,
Gabriella?
I'm Gabrielle, and my wife is Gabriela.
Isn't that the best?
way.
It's so easy to remember.
And we always think about, because my business name, my catering business name was The Usual, LLC. So I said, well, I don't want to call it The Usual Trattoria. So my wife said, why don't you go to Trattoria Gabriela? So Gabriela, the guys at work, they call me Gabriele for some reason. So I said, okay, Trattoria Gabriela. So I said, okay, Trattoria Gabriela it is. So I like the name, I think it's gonna be catchy. And, yeah, I'm excited for that. So, you guys are excited. So,
There's a little complexity in approving the plans as submitted.
Yeah.
Um,
How would we feel about working and getting some new plans? Is there any kind, would you be willing to do any kind of like conditional pending these changes we've talked about on a new plan? And then, we work with
Are you
Lisa,
guys okay
get the
with that?
plans cleaned up, but then they don't have to
I
come.
gotta check with the girls section. or the-
Yeah.
You know, I'm like,
Yeah, I realized
It's
that
just a
they're-
Kind of what we did with
suggestion,
Van
'cause-
Are we
Everett
okay
as
with
well.
Yeah, like it's similar to what, it's not what we want, by practice, but I think we've answered a lot of questions tonight, so if there was a way.
Hey, circle whatever needs to be
The walk-in
changed.
cooler's fine.
Yeah, it's the.
Okay.
The
size
plan,
of the-
right.
it's the
I
size of
just-
that.
And
What
not
do
putting
they
a
have?
screen around it so it doesn't stand out.
They're asking for approval of the plans.
That's the little,
But,
Change and-
but I think what Meg is suggesting is approval of the plans as amended.
Yes.
And then you or me or somebody needs to check those.
I'll work with Lisa to get those updated, and then I'll get them on your next agenda, bring them back for you, but save them.
Okay, then
then
we're good. So
have them
as,
come back
as
through.
of tonight, just understand you're going forward with our endorsement, but not our motion.
Okay,
Right.
okay.
And what we'll have you do is we'll work on cleaning up this stuff that's more reflective of just what we're talking about tonight.
Okay.
I'll take them over here at the office and make sure they get on their next agenda. And I'll go ahead and kind of just introduce and spearhead it when we get to our next meeting, so you don't have to come back over.
Okay.
So definitely within the guidelines of everything we've talked about tonight. But they're gonna make a as amended approval, and the amended will happen when I get your new plans, okay?
These lettering is so small on here, like I couldn't read the dimensions.
And I just, because it's a first step in the whole process, I
We don't
would feel more
wanna, we don't wanna
comfortable.
hold them up for their next step.
Exactly.
So they can go to the planning commission with tonight,
I'll put them on the planning commission, yes. I'll put them on that agenda.
put them on,
Yep.
no matter what.
Yep.
When is that meeting? Of April.
That's pretty good.
Same time?
It's fast.
Yes,
Right, and you'll be there?
I will be
So
there.
you
So
can
I'll
just
be
say-
able to explain all of that and talk about that, and then I will follow through and make sure it gets back on your next agenda, just to dot those i's and cross those t's.
Right, and we'll wanna keep that, or I guess they'll probably wanna take that color sample with them to show the planning commission.
Yeah,
Take-
yeah,
But
We're
it
gonna
needs to
keep
come
that
back to
color.
us for the file.
yes.
We just need it, hey Gary, we
Yep,
just need to
and
make
then
sure
we'll
we
get
have
that
a
back in for the
May
file,
meeting.
and then we'll
that we
work
don't
on
get
getting
buried
updated
with
plans
just one
before the
agenda
planning
item.
commission. May meeting.
And you just want.
Well, if this is on May, we'll have a May meeting.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
you guys a little bigger copy?
No.
Bigger copies, the PDF.
Not a big, but they have a different size I can print out. Because I print some for me at home. So I get.
All I need is a PDF.
Actually, I mean, those ones are.
But those, what
Too
you're
stale
talking about might
in the
be
email.
easier for
Huge.
planning,
Yeah,
because
just
these, there's
my
a
little
lot going
wheezy
on.
laptop. It's
Right.
Like an 11 by 17.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
that's-
I think that would be great, if we could get those updated, and then I'll get copies to take to planning. You guys will be there, but so will I, to help narrate what we've accomplished here tonight. Then we'll make sure that that gets back over here, just so we can close the gap, and then we're all good to go there.
I have them down, drop them off on Thursday, Friday, whatever.
That would be perfect. Yep, we'll get them on the agenda and go from there. Okay.
Excellent, thank you for
Good.
coming. Congratulations on your project.
Yes, thank you so much.
Awesome.
Yeah. thank
We're
you.
excited, so this is
This
fun.
will be fun.
We'll keep it going. Thank you,
Thank you
guys.
so much. Yep.
Thank you guys. You have a good night.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Pleasure to meet you guys.
Thank you, yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, just the last item is real fast. I would like a motion on the record approving the distribution of the February 5, 2025 design guide as you have it. Because we want to be able to get it out to the street and get it out to everywhere. And I thought it'd be appropriate to have one motion that does that from our group here. So with that, that's the only thing. I don't know if you had a chance to look through this, but I think finally the photography and everything came out
That looks
really nice.
So I'll make a motion that we move to release out to the village the design guidelines as of February 5th, version February 5th, 2025, as
Exactly.
created.
Is that seconded?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Excellent, thank you. This was a long road to hoe, I'll tell you. And I don't know if you noticed, but we put that state letter right in the back.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty cool.
cool.
One thing just to bring up real quick, when the builder for the first one was here, I was handing my thing, because in some ways, if we have builders and architects and things coming
Absolutely.
through, we should be
Well,
handing
we-
this to them as their first.
Well,
We're
we're
gonna
gonna-
work collaboratively with you guys to figure out a good distribution. A lot of ideas have been floated around. One, we need to have them on hand here for people coming for permits that in this area. Two, what about all the families and the people who live within the HEC and are unaware
I
of
would
the
like to put a
guidelines?
cover letter from myself, or from
Yes.
us,
Sure.
Yep,
that says, by the way, congratulations, you own a historic property, and
Here
you're
you
a
go.
character defining element, and I want you to see our updated design guide.
yes.
And it will, it's not that many people. We could
No.
mail one to everybody, right?
No, and so from an administrative perspective, we support getting this message out into the hands of our residents and making it accessible for contractors and developers to see it here in the office too, so,
McKenna made these,
okay,
so he can probably make some for the counter right now.
I'm sure, yep,
But I don't know whether you want him to make 50 or whatever,
right.
150.
Let me look at that,
Probably
I'll report back at our next meeting with some ideas on how we can get that distributed.
Yeah, and I'm not overly thrilled with having this. I mean, if you had a cooler binder, that'd be
Yep.
okay too.
Yeah, let me play around with that a little, get some quotes, and then I will fund that through the village. But I'll bring it to you for
We
approval.
allege to have a budget, but we never use it. So we'll use it for this.
Okay, well, great, then it's all settled.
Okay. All right then, I think with that, anything else anybody wants? Angie, you good?
Good.
Alec, okay, then we are adjourned at whatever it
All
is.
right, thank you.
Seven-